So welcome to First Take Math with Brian Thomas. Tonight's lesson will be on the relationship between multiplication and division. So last lesson we were kind of talking about how they're related, and we just want to kind of take this one step further tonight. And a couple of statements I want to make is, if we're multiplying, the reverse relationship is going to be dividing. If we're dividing, the reverse relationship is going to be multiplying. And where this holds out is, if I look at this problem here, example 1, we have 5 times x equals 70. This is going to hold true because the reverse relationship also has to be true. So if I go in the reverse direction, I have to make, instead of a multiplication problem, I'm now going to be using division. My audience is keeping me in check here. So we want to divide. So 70 divided by 5 would enable me to get what x is. And I don't know how many 5s go into 70, but I can kind of cheat a little bit and do 5. And the way I see a 70 would be a 50 and a 20. I know that how many 5s go into 50 would be 10, and how many 5s go into 20 would be 4. Therefore, my answer would be 14. That's the way you can do division. Of course, a lot of us have learned the old school way of we go 5 into 7, go 5 into 7 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. 7 times 5 is 2. Slide the 0 down. 5 goes to 20 4 times. And we get our remainder 0. And we get our answer there at 14. And again, we're in a spot, if we don't want to do that kind of math, calculators are also going to be available. So we get our 14. If I look at this problem, some number divided by -4 is 8. Well, that's only going to be true if we go the other direction. And that is, since we see division, I can now think in terms of multiply. So this division problem is only going to hold true if I go backwards and divide, go backwards and multiply. 8 times -4 would have to equal then my m. And we've learned that when you multiply integers, or positive negative numbers, we simply just multiply 8 times 4 and get our 32. And we treat the negative like a light switch. Since there's only one negative, that just means to flip it over to a negative, and our answer becomes then a -32. So that's going to get us started in the relationship between multiplying and dividing, and how that can be used to solve equations. A couple more examples. If I have 11j equals -77, remember this represents multiplication. So if I work backwards, I can use division. So that means I can get this answer by going -77 divided by 11. That should equal j. And we know that 11 times 7 is 77, and a positive divided by negative should give us then a -7, and we get j equals -7. In this last example, we have t divided by -12 equals 180, which means if we use the reverse relationship, we can multiply to get our result. So we know that t could equal then a -12 times 100. And we've learned that this really means -12 times 10 times 10. We know that each 0 means you're multiplying by 10. And so we know that all I really got to do is put a -12 and add on 2 zeros to get my -1200. So the answer to this equation would be a -1200. Okay. So that's going to conclude our lesson tonight.